Why do we need to talk about Martha Stewart? Her thirst traps caused quite a sensation when she shared them on social media. Yes, you heard that right, Martha Stewart is making thirst traps. The television personality opened up about the process of taking the photos during her appearance on Tuesday's episode of The Drew Barrymore Show. She said that making the thirst traps keeps the interest alive. One of her recent posts had her wearing only an apron while she was casually sipping a cup of coffee. Drew asked her, "When you look at that photo, what do you say to yourself to give yourself the confidence to go out there and do it?" In response, Martha said, "Well, I practiced the day before to see if I looked okay, and I looked good." The 81-year-old cookbook author previously opened up about her dating and sex life during an interview on the Dear Chelsea podcast in early July. According to Martha, she does run into men that she finds attractive in her social circle, but they're rarely single. Despite the lack of single guys, she has said that she has no interest in being a homewrecker. So good on her. Although recently the internet has been hoping that Martha is going to get with Pete Davidson. The theory that they might date went viral on social media earlier this year after it was announced that Pete had split up from Kim. People love the photo taken of Martha and Pete during the White House Correspondents' Dinner in April, where they were seen holding hands. She did say that she thinks he's a very good guy and she finds him sort of cute, so there could be hope there. She made the confession when she played a game called Red Flag, Yellow Flag, Green Flag. Martha said, "He's dated so many women, I think that's good, and he's sort of cute. He was on the Justin Bieber roast with me. He was a little twerp, he was even twerpier than Bieber, who's also very cute by the way. He's a good guy, a very good guy." But in terms of romance, Martha made it clear that he was more like a long lost son to her, so no matter how many people ship them together as a couple, it's probably not gonna happen. Fans know that Martha was married to Andrew Stewart from 1961 to 1990, and the two share a daughter together named Alexis Stewart. But as for her love life, she mentioned that she hasn't prioritized dating very much since the divorce, and hasn't put a lot of energy into finding men. Although to be fair, that might have been made even more difficult by her stint in prison in 2004. Now if you're wondering why on earth she ended up in prison in the first place, it has a lot to do with insider trading. It all started in 2001 when a biopharmaceutical company called ImClone failed to get FDA approval for a new pharmaceutical it was developing. One of the company's founders advised his friends and family to sell their stock, knowing its value would take a dive once the news became public. Martha was in his inner circle and took his advice. She sold 4,000 shares the day before the FDA made their announcement. Yes, she managed to save herself $45,000, but she also came under investigation by the US government. Eventually she was charged and convicted of a number of financial crimes, and in the end spent 5 months incarcerated at Alderson Federal Prison Camp in West Virginia. She was released in 2005 and had to spend 5 more months under house arrest at her home in Bedford, New York. Speaking about her prison experience, Martha said in 2017 that it was horrifying and no one should have to go through that kind of indignity except for murderers. And there are a few other categories, but no one should have to go through that. It's a very, very awful thing. Her experience was quite unique though, because unlike most celebrities who ended up in prison, Martha had an incredible career comeback, and these days it seems like her reputation has hardly been damaged at all. Since gaining back her freedom, she's starred in The Apprentice, Martha Stewart, written several books, established a hugely successful show called Martha Stewart Living, set up her own brands of wine and frozen foods, and even developed an iconic friendship with none other than Snoop Dogg. Not only that, but during her time in prison, the value of her company's stock actually doubled, and she became a billionaire once again by 2006. These days she refers to her time in jail as nothing more than her horrible legal problem. So let's see if she gets back into the dating scene as well. If not with Pete Davidson, let's hope it's with someone a little bit older. That's all the story we have for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.